Welcome back. Who needs Broadway for great theater? We have it right here in South Florida. And now you're going to meet Deborah L. Sherman, who brings Frida Kahlo to life in her one-woman show right here in our local theaters. Deborah L. Sherman, because anyone could just be Deborah Sherman, but it takes a special person to have that L right smack in the middle.
Right there.
Right there. Welcome to our show.
Thanks for having me.
Listen, our studio is your studio, but you have a bigger platform. You have a whole stage to do your thing.
A pretty big one.
Yeah, because you're part of this Overheard series. We're going to get to your specific greatness, but what is the Overheard series?
The Overheard series is a fantastic festival, I would call, of one-person shows at Broward College South. And Lamar Lovelace, who's the director of cultural affairs there, had the foresight to create this programming that is all individual one-person shows, all different, all culturally diverse, and every month except the month of December has something happening. So I'm the next one up.
That's right, and it's October 17th, one night only.
Yeah.
Frida Unmasked, Frida Kahlo.
Yes.
And you are not just playing Frida, this is your baby.
Yes.
You researched it, you wrote it, you're all about it.
I have been a Frida-phile for a while.
Is that a real thing, a Frida
No, I
file?
just made it up.
Okay, got it.
And it may be, we could Google it.
Actually, probably could be, yeah.
But I have been someone who has identified with her as a person. I am a Colombian Jew. She was also Jewish and Mexican, so we have a lot of similarities in our cultures.
Okay.
Having mothers that were from one side of the tracks and then dads from the other, and then having those cultures combine and what that means. She also was a very independent, very strong, very opinionated woman.
Oh, now, are you those things too?
Not at all.
Right.
And her work reflects her perception of what she thought the world looked like to her. And I took a look at some of her pieces when I was younger, and I thought, wow, there's something really going on here, and explored her life a little bit and decided that she was going to be the person that I really was going to hang on to as an idol.
One big difference, and I don't know too much about Frida, we're going to find out a little more. Yeah. You don't have a unibrow. And if there's one thing I know about her...
That's what you think, Dave.
Is there heavy makeup right now?
Well, you know, the thing is that when you are a Colombian Jew, the ladies out there who are of either heritage understand that we are blessed to have wonderful eyebrows. And we need to manicure them.
Sure.
Otherwise, we will look like Frida. For the show, I do use real hair and do fill in all of,
Whose hair?
Well, I use I use my 1.5-year-old son's hair, actually, and
that's pretty cool.
It's actually a little weird, but cool at the same time.
Kind of creepy, but sort of endearing.
Well, he's had to have multiple haircuts, so I haven't just
It wasn't like he wasn't sleeping and you went in and were like, this is for my costume.
Maybe.
Or maybe you did do that.
Maybe.
Okay, good. Well, when you get out in 6 to 8 months for good behavior, we'll have you back on.
That's right.
So this show, what is it specifically about? Because there's so much to cover with her.
There really is, and that's really kind of the tough thing when you are trying to write a show or do a show about a real person. You have to figure out what part of their life are you really going to try to communicate to other people. And so what I did was turning a certain age, I took her 40th birthday, and I said, what would happen if we took just a slice of her day on the day that she wakes up and turns 40? So that's where the show kind of begins and starts, and at that point, she's already had multiple surgeries. She's had some accidents and things.
She lived in constant pain, right?
Yes, in constant pain. And so and at this point, she was addicted to painkillers and morphine, all kinds of things, and was drinking heavily at the same time. So there's a combination of kind of drug-induced sort of haze and reality of dealing with the fact that she had polio as a child, was hit by this horrible trolley car, was very, very physically damaged, was bedridden for 9 months, wasn't able to move, and then through that accident became an artist, and then was able to take that pain and channel that pain into beautiful, beautiful paintings. So I wanted to tell that story. How do we as artists who sometimes suffer tremendously do the things that we do the way that we do them without anybody knowing that we're in absolute misery, because that's not what you want to see. You want to see the show. You want to see what's exciting. You're not interested in how you got to that place necessarily. You just want to be entertained and be taken out of it for a couple of hours. But Frida couldn't be taken out of it. She lived it. She breathed it. That's who she was.
Do you think it's possible to be a great artist without experiencing any pain? Because God, you hear so many of these stories of these people, these like tortured souls that just express so much great stuff. I mean, you know, if you can feel like more often than not, there is some sort of turmoil in their lives that leads to great art.
I think that people who tend to be in the entertainment industry in general all can tell a story about when they were made fun of or when something bad happened to them, and then something changed in them and they decided to take that incident and take control of it and say, no, you're not going to use that name against me. I'm going to take that name and I'm going to own that, and I'm going to make something out of myself and prove to you that, you know, you're wrong, and do it in a way that is individual to that person, whether it's through comedy or through painting or through acting or through hosting TV programs or whatever it is.
Oh, I'm a tortured soul, let me tell you.
So but all of us, we all have it. Some of us are lucky enough to have, you know, mathematical acuity, or, you know, the ability to be able to build things and can be architects, and some of us don't have that skill set. We have to be able to get it out another way. So this is our way, or my way, or I think most artists' ways, or people who do this stuff, their way to channel all of that energy into something good, and hopefully be able to transport the people who we're communicating with to another place. And that's our job, ideally, as actors or as musicians or whatever. So
how long is the show?
It's an hour. I've cut it down. It was an hour and a half. I don't know why I would talk so much, but I cut it down to about an hour and 10 minutes.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you. I mean, you wrote it, but I mean, you got to forget a line every now and again, or not. And if you do you just riff? I mean, you wrote it. No one really knows.
You can, and the way that this is done, because I begin with taking morphine at the very beginning of the show. She takes medication, so I could kind of drift away and then come back. But it
you have
also
a license to sort of blame it on the morphine.
Sure, but it'll screw my tech people up because I have slides and I have projections and things that that kind of go in a certain order. So if I jump, they have to like figure out where did Deborah freak out, and, you know, let's go back and find out where we are. So I do the best that I can to stay on track as much as possible.
Well, just give them morphine too. All right, so October 17th, one night only, so you gotta go on October 17th. When, where, how do people get more information, all that good stuff?
Okay, we are going to be on the campus of Broward College South, which is in Pembroke Pines, and you can go to bsoca.org. Did I say it right?
Sure.
Yes. And Lamar Lovelace is going to have all that information there. It's already there, actually. You can buy tickets to my show and all of the other 5 shows during the series, so you can see a little bit of everything that's happening. And tickets are $10 if you're not a student. If you're a student, it's totally free.
What if you're a student of life?
Well, you know, you work that out at the box office.
Gotcha. Deborah said I was a student of life. Awesome. Good luck.
Thanks.
It's going to be fun. The Unibrow. Can't wait to see it.
Yeah, it's pretty rockin'.
Yeah. So great to see you, and
Thank
we'll
you.
see you on stage.
Thank you so much.
All right, you got it.
My pleasure.